Welcome back to another episode of Warren Cali. In this episode, I will detail the story of rapper Dub C. Dub C was born William Calhoun Jr. on February 3rd, 1970 in Houston, Texas. He moved to South Central LA at an early age in his childhood. Dub C would grow up in an era in South Central where gang violence controlled the city of Los Angeles, and South Central would be one of the deadliest areas for anyone to grow up in. Several Crip and Blood gangs controlled the streets from various neighborhoods, and in the 80s, the drug trade and fight for territory put many gangs at war and made South Central a war zone, with hundreds of murders year by year, and this is the era that Dub would grow up in. Dub C would get his name from the initials in his name, William Calhoun. Dub would grow up in an area in South Central called the Hundreds, and as a youth, he would get involved in the streets with what was going on around him. The Hundreds had several different gangs operating out of the area, but for Dub, he would grow up in an area controlled by a gang called the Westside 111 Neighborhood Crips. 111s are a Crip gang that were a part of an alliance by several different Crip gangs out the Hundreds to take on several rivals. Rappers like Ice Cube will also grow up in this area and be affiliated with several Crips, with him knowing them from the area and being childhood friends to many. Ice Cube and Dub will grow up together early on.
There used to be a lot of kids on the block. All the kids that moved away, I guess we grew up. We was the kids. But this is the house I grew up in. Got a nice fresh paint job.
To a young O'Shea, South Central seemed like any other Los Angeles neighborhood.
I thought we was rich, you know what I mean? Because the neighborhood at first glance looks like a pristine place to be. It seems pretty quiet around here, but I guess the freaks come out at night.
Everybody's been friends.
Ooh, since elementary school. Elementary school.
Yeah. Wow. I saw some of the pictures from back in the days, too. And I was in the car. I had the pleasure of being in the car. I think y'all argued about a football game before.
Yeah.
You know, when Dub was running that 5'7", 40.
Ain't that a Cube called me about what he talking about is Cube called. He be hitting me.
Dub was slow, but he caught a touchdown on us, and I was mad as hell.
See, y'all don't realize this dude right here, y'all think he be talking on record. Oh, man, he be going in. The hood comedy. You know how the cats be like, you know, it's always a bagger in the hood. This dude don't stop. But he be real, you know, just real quiet and sarcastic when he hit you with a knockout blow. He called me up, it was me and CJ rolling just in the car, just on GP. And this dude, just the phone rung. I'm like, what up? Hey, what's happening, man? He said, didn't you score against us? I said, yeah, I caught a bomb on y'all. He said, nigga, you was slow to them all.
Even though Dub was fully involved in the streets and Crippin' was his daily life, he was also passionate about sports, playing football at Washington High School, but also he was heavy into music. In high school, Dub would be battling other rappers to get his name out there and to gain a local buzz. Around the same time, Ice Cube was already gaining fame, with Ice Cube joining supergroup NWA, who was on the rise, with Ice Cube being a songwriter and also one of the main rappers. Dub would take rap more serious, but seeing how things were going for Cube, and he would begin his career pairing with DJ Aladdin and making the group Low Profile. The group released one album called We're In This Together in 1989, but the group would later break up.
And Low Profile and the album We're In This Together.
First album.
And appearing on Rhyme Syndicate compilation, Shitty Thoughts.
Yep, back in the days. Back in so much love and respect to Ice-T for giving me and DJ Aladdin a shot on the Rhyme Syndicate compilation. And then also, too, later down the line, the first album that me and the DJ Aladdin drop was called We're In This Together, you know, and it shook everything up on the underground scene, definitely.
Dub would later form his group, Dub C, in the Mass Circle. Mass stood for Minority Alliance of Anti-Discrimination. The group Mass Circle included fellow rappers Big G, Coolio, and producer Sir Jinx, Chili Chill, and DJ Crazy Tunes.
Yeah, for those who don't know, we used to be with a group called Low Profile back in 1989, but due to bad management, we broke up, and now we call it Mass Circle.
And the circle represents unification. It's only one way in and no way out.
Word. So check this out, because we got a real bad problem where we stay in one part of town. You know, you don't get along with brothers on this side and everything, but we chose to go a different way because we are minorities. We all fighting a true enemy out there, you know what I'm saying? So right now, who we are, we're the Mass Circles, WC and the Mass Circle.
With Ice Cube leaving NWA by 1989, he would sign with Priority Records as a solo artist and form the group, The Lynch Mob. Dub was automatically affiliated with the group. With his close relationship with the group members and Ice Cube, Dub group Mass Circle were also signed with Priority Records. By 1990, Ice Cube would drop his solo debut album, America's Most Wanted, which would go platinum. It would be followed by another album by Ice Cube in 1991 called Death Certificate, which was another success for Ice Cube. That same year in 1991, Dub C's group Mad Circle would officially drop their first album called It Ain't a Damn Thing Changed, which features several other rappers like MC8 and Ice Cube himself. The album wouldn't be a huge success, but it got the group some notice, and this would lead to the group going on tour with Ice Cube in 1992. Dub would still be heavy in the streets, but stay active in music, and still affiliating with Ice Cube and the Lynch Mob. Dub C's group Mad Circle wouldn't drop another album until 1995, with rapper Coolio choosing to go solo. He released 2 solo albums between 1994 and 1995. Both albums would be successful. Even though Coolio went solo, he still featured on Mad Circle's 1995 album with Mac 10, along with Ice Cube. After Mad Circle's 1995 album, Courage Serving, the group disbanded. That same year, Dub would appear in Ice Cube's movie, Friday, as one of Big Worm's shooters, and in 1996, he appeared in the movie Set It Off, which he played a bank robber. But that same year in 1996, Dub along with Ice Cube and Mac 10 will form the group Westside Connection, bringing 2 rising rappers in Mac 10 and Dub C, and a megastar Ice Cube together.
Westside Connection was myself, Ice Cube, and Mac 10. 3 artists that came together on the West Coast that was from different areas. Well, me and Cube was from the same area, but we was all from different crews. And we was one of the first groups to come together that was from different crews and formed this powerhouse group. You know, it was just, you know, you had a cat that came from Inglewood, about the, you know, area where there was a lot of Bloods at. And you had me and Cube that came from an area where it was Crips at. And Cube, you know, by him always being, you know, a rapper that was, you know, really social conscious with his rhymes and stuff like that, he represented, you know, that street political side. I represented that Crip side, and Mac represented that Blood side. And, you know, you had the gangster killing the dope dealer right there. And that, to me, described, you know, all of California. And, you know, we included everybody else, you know, that was down with it. So it was big. It was a big record.
The Westside Connection group album would be a success, but had a lot of controversy as well. The group would go at a lot of people on the album, with their lead single being Bow Down. Many people speculated this was a diss to all rappers, and especially the East Coast, along with rapper Common being dissed on the album after Ice Cube felt he disrespected the West Coast. Group Cypress Hill will also be dissed on the album after Ice Cube and Cypress Hill group member B Real would get into a dispute over a song. B Real felt like Ice Cube stole a song from him, and this would lead to several altercations and disputes. But with Dub C being close to his Westside Connection group mates and also being close to Cypress Hill, he chose to stay off the beef and tried to squash it. This beef took several years to end.
Back when Ice Cube and Mac 10, they was kind of beefing with Cypress Hill, and they came out with King of the Hill. You're on the track, but you don't actually have a verse going in on Cypress Hill. Why did you choose to stay out of that? Or, you know, so you were still on the track representing, but you know what I'm saying, you didn't have a verse on it. So what was up with that?
It was political reasons that took place before the record, even before the diss of Cypress Hills had diss and Cube. There was a lot of shit that went on that I was trying to diffuse, because we all, you know what I'm saying, we all used to hang out together real tight, you know, and I used to, you know, back in the days coming up with Atlanta mugs, me and Cypress Hill lived together.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, a lot of people don't know that we stayed together, you know, back in back in the Gap. So, right. You know, it was some shit that it was really supposed to just be Cube and Be Real, but it ain't no such thing as no head up. You know what I'm saying? Mac 10 was doing the group and he wanted to prove his allegiance and all that shit and everything. Right. So, you know, he went on to do, you know, what he's supposed to do. But at the same time, too, I'm just glad that shit right there, because it was real close to me. Glad that shit, you know what I'm saying, stopped after that right there.
Along the years, Dub continued his acting career. In 1997, he had roles in Jamie Foxx Show, and in 1998, the show Sister Sister, and the Snoop Dogg movie The Game of Life. The same year in 1998, Dub would drop his first solo debut, being The Shadiest One. In 1999, Dub would act in movies The Breaks, Mac 10's movie Thicker Than Water, and another movie called Foolish. And in 2000, show Moesha. In 2000, Dub, along with several legendary artists like Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, Corrupt, Nate Dogg, MC Ren, Mac 10, and a long list of others, participated in a tour called the Up and Smoke Tour. Dub performed with his Westside Connection crew, and most people remember Dub's performance off his Crip walking. In 2001, Dub would appear in a film, Air Rage, and in 2002, a movie called Stranded, and another movie called White Boy. In 2002, he will also drop his second studio album called Ghetto Heisman. In 2003, Dub would appear in CJ's Mac documentary called Seawalk is a Way of Life, and also his own film called Dub C, Bandana Swinging, All That Glitters Ain't Gold. This would be the same year Westside Connection would drop the album Terror Threats, but this would be the group's last album together, with Ice Cube and Mac 10 having a big fallout over Ice Cube's brother-in-law being disrespectful to Mac 10, leading to him being beat up, and this led to the group breaking up forever.
The legacy, the music for Westside Connection doesn't mean as much because you guys aren't together anymore, because it's all about camaraderie and like riding with your friends together.
I mean, every time we do a Westside Connection show, whenever I'm performing or Q performing or we're together, the crowd go crazy. I don't see how they can't think that.
But you guys aren't doing it anymore.
What do you mean?
It shut down.
Mac 10 does Westside Connection records on the solo show. I do Westside Connection records on my solo. Ice Cube do them on the solo or when we're together. Now there's always going to be a Westside Connection. Are we performing together as a group? No, not at all. Not right now.
Yeah. You think you'll ever come back?
What you say?
You think you'll ever come back together as a?
Could be.
Yeah?
Could be, yeah. Things worked out between, Cube and Mac. It's called real life though.
Yeah.
Real life behind the music.
Yeah.
Music is one thing, but real life behind the music is another. If there's no gelling, then there's no music.
Yeah.
But Westside Connection will always be my all-time favorite collective.
Dub will stay out of Mac 10 and Ice Cube's beef, still holding a good relationship with both of them. In 2006, Dub would appear in Mac 10's movie, It Ain't Easy. With the Westside Connection disbanding, Ice Cube and Mac 10 would continue with their solo careers, and Dub would as well. Dub would have another album in 2007 called Guilty by Association. In 2008, Dub will also act in movie Belly 2. Dub wouldn't drop a lot of music after this point or appear in movies. He took a behind-the-scenes role in his career, and in 2011, Dub would drop his final studio album, Being a Revenge of the Barracuda. He would appear in 2012 movie documentary by Ice-T called Something From Nothing. In 2013, Dub C would drop a collab album with Daz. In 2015, Dub would appear in a movie called The Streets. By 2017, Dub became a consultant in the show, Snowfall. He also served as a Los Angeles dialect coach for Dansum Idris, who played the show's star, Franklin. Most recent with Dub C, he has been doing several ventures and performing in several shows. And also, him and rapper CJ Mack will also make a podcast called The Dub C and the CJ Mack Show, which they have been doing for several years. Dub C has had a long-lasting career and is considered a West Coast legend. This will conclude this episode. If you haven't already, make sure you check out my previous episodes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.